All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. We're talking about the Kansas City Chiefs in tonight's video. Finally, day 3 has been wrapped up for training camp. This is just rookies and quarterbacks. So the veterans will be here this weekend, and then they'll go full swing action with training camp practices. Pads are on, and before you know it, preseason football will be here. Now, Kansas City is really interesting because you're back-to-back defending Super Bowl champions. You're back-to-back defending Super Bowl champions. You still got Patty Mahomes. But what's crazy to me is this roster is even better than they were last season, but in the most important of categories, right? Wide receiver room this time last season. As far as how you're feeling right now, I get it. Rashid Rice, we'll talk about Rashid Rice suspension very shortly. Travis Kelce's not getting any younger, but you picked up Xavier Worthy, you picked up Hollywood Brown, you got a bunch of skilled players, Jared Wiley, Isaiah Pacheco. It just feels like a more well-rounded offense than it was last season, and that's thanks to the moves like Xavier Worthy and Hollywood Brown. But today was, a bunch of guys got the day off, so there's not too much crazy information. We'll talk about it in just a second here, but before we do, if you guys enjoy it, be sure to hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily NFL content. Chiefs fans, we could try and get this video to 100 likes. That would mean the world to me. I covered the first 2 days of training camp. I think we're just going to try to cover every single day for every single team in the NFL. Got a long July here, but neither here nor there. Thank you guys for showing up again. I'm desperately sick, so I'm sorry if this is a little bit low energy, but Rees-Zammit is the storyline of the summer, especially if you're from Wales, especially if you're into rugby, and especially if you're a Chiefs fan. So apparently, saw this report here, he's been studying the Chiefs playbook nonstop to try and make the 2024 roster. Like, folks, it blew up on Twitter Wednesday, right? Patrick Mahomes throwing him a ball, blew up. This guy's only 23 years old. I mean, he's just like, look at a picture of him. The dude's a freaking freak athlete. And we keep saying it on this channel. I guarantee you he will make this roster, and I guarantee you he will have some type of impact, even if it's just only special teams. I actually think they'll give him a couple of snaps. When you're defending Super Bowl champions, you need dudes like Rees-Zammit to help your team out, because guys get injured. It's an 18-week season, 17 regular games. You got playoffs. Like, you need depth. And even if Rees-Zammit is like the 53rd dude on the roster, like, there's a role for him. All right. So apparently we heard this from Adam Teicher with ESPN. This is a quote from LRZ. I'm nonstop trying to learn this playbook, because as soon as I can start not having to think about playing and just playing fast, that's the biggest thing for me. So he was a superstar in rugby. Once again, he's 23 years old. He accepted an invitation to join the NFL's International Player Pathway Program back on January 16th, and he signed a 3-year contract with Kansas City back on March 27th. So NFL Network's Ian Rappaport reported that his deal with Kansas City includes some guaranteed money as well as a signing bonus. So I don't think he's just, trying to make the 53-man roster. I think he literally will have some type of outlook or some type of production next season. Special teams and the running back room. I'm checking the depth chart every single day. He's currently slated as RB4. I think a couple of days ago that was RB5 or maybe even RB6. But he said this quote as well: I know special teams is going to be massive for me. I've been working really hard on that and just learning the playbook, learning the running back roles, being able to pass, protect, and then learning my routes off that. I mean, I know it's just training camp with rookies and quarterbacks, but folks, the hype really is there. So we'll talk about that in just a second here. Moving on forward, 5 Chiefs did not participate in Friday's practice session. Yeah, this whole week is just to get these young cats just prepared a little bit ahead of schedule for when these veterans come on in this weekend, and then you start full-on practice this upcoming week. But also, speaking of the offense, Andy Reid said, I haven't heard anything about a Rashid Rice suspension. I think the common knowledge is that he will get a suspension. I saw a rumor that they could do the end of the season. Just in all sporting leagues, the way these work out is so just complicated. It's never consistent. Like Ray Rice, he's booted for 2 games after that whole elevator situation, and then the video drops, and then he's just blackballed by the NFL. Not saying that was the wrong decision by Roger Goodell, but I'm just saying Miles Bridges is still in the NBA. Kevin Porter Jr. just got back in the NBA. Rashid Rice coming off a really good rookie season. Andy Reid hasn't heard anything about a suspension, but a suspension is looming. The good news is you have Hollywood Brown, and as I said in the beginning of this video, it's just a completely different Kansas City Chiefs receiving room. Last year at this time, Justin Ross was getting a ton of hype that just never correlated into the regular season. There was hype around guys like Sky Moore and Kadarius Toney, but they kind of botched their opportunities in the regular season. And, there were a lot of question marks with Rashid Rice and his actual rookie impact. And then you had MVS, who, pretty much just kind of a one-trick pony, even though I love my former Green Bay Packers legend. The wide receiver room, something I'm going to be keeping an eye on during training camp because of the Rashid Rice suspension. I would assume, I don't know anything about these types of situations. I've been hearing 4 games. I've been hearing 6 games. I've been hearing 8 games. It could be anywhere. It really could be any amount of games. But you got Xavier Worthy. I know he's battling some drops issues. He had an injury. He jammed his thumb or jammed his finger yesterday or Wednesday at practice, but he's good to go. You got Sky Moore, Justin Watson, Kadarius Toney, Justin Ross, Nico Remigio. You got McCole Hardman. There's just a lot of depth there at the wide receiver room. I'm curious who they're going to bring on to the guaranteed roster because of that Rashid Rice suspension. I also saw like a speculation that they could, if Rashid Rice gets like an 8-game, 6-game suspension, I have seen some rumblings that they could look for like a veteran wide receiver, somebody like Hunter Renfrow from the Las Vegas Raiders a couple of seasons. He's only a couple of years removed from being a 1,000-yard receiver, 100 reception in a season receiver. So that would be something to keep an eye on. And then finally, the tight end room is something really interesting to me because obviously Travis Kelce. You still have Noah Gray, but Jared Wiley's just been getting so much hype. He's been getting so much praise. We talked a lot more about him in yesterday's video. He was like one of the leading receivers, tight end. He was one of the leading receivers with college last season. It's just, I think Jared Wiley could be the future tight end for the Kansas City Chiefs, and I'm excited to see how he does in preseason, and I'm excited to see how this hype translates, from rookie minicamp and OTAs into training camp officially, because training camp really does not last that long, folks. We'll be in preseason football. A couple of teams, the Texans and the Bears, play preseason football in July, 31-month year or 31-day month. Jeez, man, I'm sick. Give me a break. 12 days until the first preseason game. So yeah, that's just some outlooks that I got today. Thank you guys for watching. I'm rambling on. Hit that like button, hit that sub button, and let me know. Let me know your thoughts on the receiving room down below. Are there any players deeper down on that depth chart that you would like to see an opportunity where they make the 53-man roster? Let me know down below. But thank you guys for watching. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you on Monday with another Kansas City Chiefs video. Peace.